Tack. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, dear investors. It's great to see so many of you here. It's always a bit challenging after the lunch, but I hope that you consider the things I'm going to speak as exciting as I am. So, this is what we do, large-scale solar thermal system for industrial use. And I don't know, is this light needed here? It's at least from here it looks like quite light. Are you able to see everything down there, back there? Okay, good. And here we have some background information of Savosolar. So we are making large-scale solar thermal energy systems for industrial customers globally. We have there our own large-scale collectors, which are the most efficient in the world. And so far we have been delivering more than 50,000 square meters of these collectors in almost 20 countries. This is another one, Lokum-cluster, and actually with this we started our large-scale business in 2015. It's also in Denmark as Jyderup. And our mission is here. So we are a technology company. We are making leading technology, and with that leading technology we help our customers to produce competitive clean energy. And via that we are doing our share in fighting the climate change. And our vision is to be the first choice supplier of high performance solar installations in a couple of years, and I think we are in a good path towards that goal. Few words about the last year markets. Here you can see the development of the large-scale solar thermal systems market globally in 35 years. And you can notice basically two important points here quite easily. One thing is to see that the last 10 years the market has been growing very rapidly and exponentially. And the second thing you can see is that 2017 has been a very lousy year for the whole industry. The market was dropping down. So overall, market is growing. Last year was disaster to everybody who is working in the industry. To us, it looked like this. So the Danish market, which is the biggest market still in the world, collapsed, temporary slowdown in there, and the new markets elsewhere did not yet create new business. It hit hard us and also the industry. Other, let's say, competitors' numbers are not either very nice. At the same time, we can say that from our point of view, we were able to see French market activated. We got 2 orders, tenders. We won 2 tenders we published, and there are several in design and phase and coming up. And the temporary slowdown of Danish market effect to the worldwide growth can be seen here. So the Denmark is still the only large or big market which is matured marketplace. So when that is going down, that can be seen worldwide also. On the other hand, it has been also for us very important to be there and being able to repeatedly deliver successful references in Danish market, because everybody knows that market. And when we are there and being able to penetrate that market successfully, it's helping us elsewhere in the world. It's also good to remember our history. So we are not very old company yet. So first 5-6 years we were developing our product technology, doing IPRs, patents, and selling some small collectors. And only, let's say, 15 and 16, we were starting to deliver the large-scale systems which we aimed for from the beginning of the company. And I have highlighted here the, let's say, customer-oriented points in our milestones in our history with the orange dot there. So after 4 customer deliveries in 15 and 16 came the dry season, which lasted 1.5 years. And then finally the market is opened up. After 18 months dry season, now there is a lot of happening everywhere in the world. And here you can see also that there's a lot of more orange dots from our point of view, milestones, than it was in the previous period and previous slides. So that's also the positive thing. We are now seeing more and more commercial activity in the company instead of just developing and building up the company otherwise. And thanks to our Danish large systems references and the big investments we did for sales and system design last year, we have been able to create the good awareness of us all over the world. So we have, let's say, overcome the biggest hurdle of any startup company in the world, that our products have been accepted, approved by the markets and the market players. So we don't anymore have to go and push ourselves. We are invited to offer. Of course, then we still have to get the deal and sign the deal, but still it's much easier than you have to convince a customer that we are good. Now they know that we are good. We can deliver. Of course, last year hit hard our numbers, so it was a really lousy year. Turnover was very, very low. It doesn't help much to know that some of the competitors are having even worse numbers, but still, one positive thing maybe you can find from these numbers also anyhow is that even though our turnover went down significantly, our losses were not growing compared to 2016. So we have been able to improve our operations in many parts of our operation chain. Recently, after the dreadful year, we have been able to come back to the track to build our growth. Our order backlog now is more than 5.6 million euros, which is biggest order backlog at the same time we have ever had. We got the 2 big orders from France and Denmark, which will be delivered mostly, both of them this year. Then we have some additional small orders, Finland, Germany, France. And at the same time, we have been able to improve our, let's say, competitiveness, reducing the cost. And when the volumes now come up, we are able to see also the benefit of that. So, sorry, there's another screen that is moving all the time. Never mind, now it's back, but it took my notice. Sorry. So, it's good to note that this project, when coming up from a customer, emerging from a customer, or then we dig them out somewhere, they take long time before the customer is ready to decide, and then a long time to be delivered. So we have here 3, let's say, recent projects that how long it took to get them home, and how long it may and usually takes 1 to 2 years or even 3 years from the first knowledge that this project may happen before the decision is made, and then we still have to deliver it. So Nyheat, basically we have been working, I would say, exactly 2 years from now on. And now we are doing the groundworking over there. And even Ankkurilahti, which is a very small, 200,000 euros, but it took more than 1 year after they decided that they will buy it from us before they finally got their own processes through. That's why it's also important that we have a strong pipeline. So it's a lot of projects in the pipeline, so we know what is happening, and also a big sort of quotation backlog or projects in design together with our future customers. So things are happening, so we can reel the things in when the customers finally get in the phase that they can decide. And the hard work, we actually invested quite heavily last year for sales, which of course can be seen in our numbers, but still it's paying back. So our pipeline is more than 140 million euros, and we have more than 50 million euros of orders or different level of offers in, and our order backlog is 5.6 million euros. And at the same time, we have more business opportunities now outside Denmark than in Denmark, which is for us good because our biggest competitor is in Denmark. So we are more even positioned elsewhere than in Denmark. And one important element here is also that we have a quite good network of competent partners now everywhere that we can accomplish even turnkey deliveries together with them. I have a couple of slides concerning the market development. This picture I have shown earlier, and I don't go it through very exactly, but I want to show it because it is one of the best pictures I've seen. What is the development? This is district heating, so going from high temperatures to lower temperatures, from fossil fuels to big variety of different renewable energies. And more we talk about energy systems, not only electricity or heating, so energy systems. And solar thermal will be a big role, have a big role in these energy systems of the future. The other slide concerning the market, I wanted to show you what is the real benefit of solar thermal in something else than district heating. This is a real case, calculated case, in a greenhouse, in a country that has quite a lot of more solar radiation than Finland. And gas is the main energy source for heating and not very cheap source in that country. So basically, you can see that the greenhouse owner can save more than 50% of their annual gas bill by investing in a solar thermal. And this saving, you can see even it's not very low numbers. And this repeats every year. And this is true in many industrial processes when you really start to consider and analyze whether solar thermal would be beneficial or not. So how to meet the market demand, take orders, grow, meet the growth target. This is our simplified illustration of our strategy. First of all, one cornerstone is product superiority. So we have the best performance, highest quality, most beautiful appearance. That is the core of our company. The other one is that we are always trying to find local partners to do things with, so they know the local customers, local regulations, can work there without additional costs. And at the same time, local community is getting benefit and employment work there. And the third cornerstone is that we always try to find partners, and we try to do together with them, share the value of trying to make the best possible solution to the customer. So the target is twofold: get the winning customer and also help the community to prosper. And this strategy and this approach is very powerful wherever you go regarding the energy systems. About partners, we have published 2 faraway partnership agreements. So one of them is in Australia, and we have a very experienced heating system supplier in Australia doing a different type of geothermal mainly, but now going for solar thermal also. And Australia is very interesting because of their current energy challenges and the high price of the gas in there also. And we have just a few weeks ago or a month ago opened the Australian website together with them. And then if you go and visit Melbourne area, you could notice a couple of cars having these stickers going around there when meeting the customers and selling. So they wanted to be visible there, which is great. This type of car we also have now in France. So if you go southern France, you can see our installation manager driving around there. Then in Latin America, Jörgensen, with these guys we already are more like a one team instead of having, you know, partners or customer relationship, which is also something we want to do. Close, deep cooperation so we can together win markets as much as possible. In this region, we aim mainly for mining business, where the energy costs can be actually extremely high. And this is an actual example. 1 month ago, there were Peruvian visitors in Finland, and we made a slide that this is the energy cost for a mine in Peru. So with diesel, $105 per megawatt hour. And the solar, 25 years, 15 years, 10 years, this is mostly of paying back the loan and the interest. So after 10 years, it's practically free. So it's obvious that these energy prices, solar thermal is a very economical decision, investment for companies like this. It's completely different than in Europe, where energy prices are still relatively low. And we do have partners also elsewhere, not only in these two places. With these partners, we realize the projects locally, and they also dig out leads for us or do even sales with their own systems, with our solar thermal collectors. And there are big variation of different companies. Biggest company we are working with, I think energy division is making 3 billion euros turnover annually. And interestingly enough that these companies, usually bigger than us, significantly bigger than us, they consider us as a good and trustworthy and credible partner. And it's coming because of the competencies we are able to show to them, the good references we have in Denmark in the leading market, and the way we work together with local partners. So our focus this year and onwards, it's of course now real in the deals. We have been working 1.5 years, 2 years, whenever the customer is in the phase to make the decisions. And at the same time, we want to expand, let's say, our front where we can meet new customers, find new leads by expanding our partner network and finding a way to do that even without increasing our own sales forces. We also work hard to further reduce the energy cost of our customers by doing better and better system design and also improving the product whenever that is possible and needed. And without asking, of course, we continue streamlining our production and all operation chain to improve profitability and positive cash flow. We have informed a rights issue, which will start on Wednesday, this week, 14th of June. And we are looking for 41 million Swedish crowns, and we plan to use the funds mainly in sales activities and working capital to be able to deliver the upcoming orders. You can see the main points here, and also from our website, and also then if you want to have more, then I will be here still quite a long time today. And I end my presentation with the latest installation. It's a beautiful scenery from a small French village. Our customer is Veolia. Everybody knows Veolia, I hope, huge industrial company, energy company. And they had a grand opening in this village a week ago, exactly a week ago. And it has been operating already 3 weeks. And the feedback from Veolia people saying that they never understood how much energy this is producing. And it's a positive thing that we hope that it will open nice in Veolia, for example. They will do in the future also something bigger, as also others. Thank you very much. That was all.
Thank you very much for a very interesting presentation. And we will start the question session. And you can pose your question in English or in Swedish. I can translate. So it's... but I will just begin with some general question. Why has it been a bad year or some bad years for the solar heating business.
So the Denmark has been the only major, not major, but big mature market so far. They have 1.3 million square meters of large-scale systems, 120-something systems already installed for district heating. One greenhouse, still mainly for district heating. And due to the political decisions on the, let's say, green energy tax or green energy subsidies program, end of 2016, they delayed it so much. So last year, basically, 1 year or 18 months, nobody did any investment decisions because they were waiting for the decisions. So the market collapsed. And now when they then finally announced the rules, then it started, and now we are sending out offer every week now in Denmark.
Okay.
So that was and at the same time, no other markets were yet coming up. We started in Germany, in France, in some other places, and there are a lot of projects, but as you saw, that it will take quite a long time from the initial decision to be on the phase that the customer can make the decision, because it's always a building permits and the local community decisions and everything. It will take quite a long time, and they were not ready for that yet.
Okay. And how does it look in other European countries with the subsidies system? Are they planning?
Well, I think that every energy system is having some kind of subsidies in Europe still. If you look fossil fuels, it is also, for example, in Germany, nobody invests in gas either without subsidies, which is crazy. But they are different. So some of them are supporting green energy more, some of them, like in Poland, coal, because they have coal mines there. But still, there's a very good atmosphere towards green heating, whether it's done by solar thermal or something else in whole European Union. And additionally, because the Eastern Europe is still using a lot of dirtying fossil fuels for heating, the rich European Union countries, are pushing money there that they will clean up the system. So they are making quite big investments in there. So there will be quite a lot of systems coming up, or even quite big systems in Europe.
Okay. We can take a question from the audience. Yes?
Yes, we'd like to know why Denmark has been so far ahead of all the other markets. What's the background there?
So I can repeat the question.
I heard. Okay, yes, please, yes. Audience, yes, sure.
The question was, why has Denmark been such a big market? How come they have been the most mature market?
So in Denmark, the first systems have been made 33 years ago. Actually, Swedes here in Sweden, Gothenburg area, invented the whole system of making large-scale solar thermal for district heating. And then Danes came and mastered that, sorry to say. But the main reasons being there, I would say twofolded. One of them, of course, the same as in Finland and Sweden, they have a lot of district heating, but it is owned by municipalities or they are cooperatives. And they want to make lower cost of district heating to the customers who own them, and also implementing green energy. The second one is that Denmark has been doing 20 years very systematic work of supporting green energy in their own production portfolio, and at the same time building up technologies that they can export. They are exporting 8 to 9 billion euros every year of green energy technology outside Denmark, and they are very proud of that. So it's Vestas and it's Siemens, it is Arcon, there are Danfoss, Grundfos who are doing the same. So these two reasons mainly being that.
Okay. Do we have a more question for the audience? Yes?
How does your system compare cost-wise with the concentrated solar?
How does your system compare with...
What kind of temperature do you work with?
with other solar,
Yes.
at what temperature do you work
Yes.
with compared with the peer companies?
So with flat plate collectors like this, normally you produce below 100 degrees. The optimum is somewhere between 30 and 85, 90, I would say. The higher you go temperature above that, then the efficiency will go down. So basically, but still, if we are doing normal district heating, 85, nowadays even lower, solar thermal concentrators are not capable of doing that very efficiently. But if you go above 100, then you of course need a concentrator. So we are not competing very much in the same temperature set. And in the lower temperature set, we are definitely more economical than concentrators. But when going above 100, we are not able to do it economically either. So there's some limit.
Who are your main competitors on the Danish
Do
market?
I have to say? So of course, we actually face same competitors all over the world. So we are 4. And the biggest one is Argon Sunmark in Denmark. They have been 20 years in the market and they have a good experience and a very rich owner.
Okay. And your global strategy now is focusing on Australia, Latin America, and France. Is that correct? Or China? How is that?
China is very important. China has informed that they will officially said that they will have 4 million square meters of large-scale flat plate solar thermal systems by 2030. And now Denmark is having 1.3 after 30 years. So in China it usually happens, what they say. Maybe a bit delayed, but it will happen. And it will be a huge market. And we are working there, but who have been there know also that it seems to take longer than anticipated, and then suddenly it can happen like this. But we are actually active via our partners all over the world. Africa seems to be in some parts very interesting market. And this for notice to some of you that if you are interested, you can make a good business if you have financing with you when you go there and make a system. India, there are some business areas that you could do. But it's more challenging than China, which is a surprise in a way, but it is. And then Latin America for industrial processes, I think. But even in Canada and USA, some states can be a good business potential, but we have, surprise, surprise, because of our dearest friend, Mr. Trump, we have not been very active in America so far. But there are some states who are looking forward to this, especially who has mines and greenhouses over there.
Okay. Do we have any more questions from the audience? Yes?
You are only turning to big industrial installations, not at all to private houses?
No.
I can repeat the
Yes,
question.
please.
You're
Sorry.
only turning to big industrial customers and not to household.
We started with the small collectors with the individual householders because that is how you create your name and test your systems. And it's cheaper to correct your learning mistakes. But now, yes, we are focusing in large systems only. And then if you think about outside Sweden and Finland, we are focusing, let's say, 500 square meters rather, or 2,000 square meters rather than smaller. In Finland and Sweden, we surprisingly easily, we do also smaller ones like we do now in Finland. The biggest ever in Finland, 356 square meters. But that's the biggest system in Finland. But yeah, large systems.
Why not private houses? So much work?
Yeah, it's not anymore growing market. It has been deteriorated by there's hundreds of or thousands of suppliers of small collectors. And for example, in China, that is going down because they have competed themselves to the ground. And in small systems, it doesn't matter whether you are able to do 20% more energy or then if you only have a good quality collector. And in small systems, PV is easier. It's more expensive a bit, but still it's easier. But in large systems, when you can put the effort of designing the system and doing the installation correctly and operating the system right, then it is definitely more economical than do the other systems.
So unfortunately, we are running out of time here. So we thank you for a very interesting presentation.
Thank you. And I will be out there if
yes,
any further questions.
in